Okay, morning year 3, welcome to Tuesday's lesson. This is the second time that I've got to record this because the first time I did the whole lesson and then it hadn't recorded properly. So here goes. We are learning to plan our information text today. So obviously last week I introduced you to an information text and it's called The Truth About Trolls, and I read it back to you yesterday. Now, this is just the layout of what that information text looks like. You have the heading, which is like the title. There's an introduction. Then the first paragraph is what do trolls look like? Then, well, where do trolls live? The third paragraph is what do trolls eat? And there's a did you know section with some key important facts. Now, you are going to keep to this structure, but you are going to change the subheadings to something different so it's not identical to the model text I showed you. Now, what I would like you to do is think about what other subheadings you could have. So in the original one, what do trolls look like? Where do trolls live? What do trolls eat? I would like you to think of some of your own. So in a minute, I want you to stop the recording and just jot down some ideas of what subheadings you could have, so you can write a paragraph on something. Now, these are some of my ideas. You could have a paragraph on what is troll school like? What jobs do trolls do? How do trolls look after their babies? What do trolls do on holiday? What is in a troll's cave? So you can use these, but also, like I said, like to stop the recording and just write down some other ideas of your own. Now, when you've done that, when you go onto your Purple Mash, it will say title and then there'll be nothing there. I would like you to come up with your own title for your information text. So in the information text I've shared with you, the title is The Truth About Trolls. I've decided my title is going to be A Troll's Life. Yours is going to be something different, but obviously it's got to be to do with trolls. You might want to use alliteration and have the same letter used in two different words. It's completely up to you. Then it'll say introduction. I don't need you to write anything by here. We're not writing the introduction today. We're just planning, we're making notes. I don't need anything written in here. Then I'll say paragraph 1. Now, I decided that I wanted to keep what trolls look like as my first paragraph. So it's similar to the original text I showed you. So what do trolls look like? And then here I've just made some notes on some things that I would put in that paragraph. So humongous horns, pointy ears, terrifying teeth. Obviously there's a lot more than that, and I'd expect you to write more notes than that. You're not writing sentences, you're just writing ideas down that you would want to include in that paragraph. Now, paragraph 2, I looked back at my notes and I decided to choose one from here, and I chose what is in a troll's cave. Now I chose that because a troll's cave is their home, so I thought people would be interested in knowing what was in a troll's cave. And I just made this up off the top of my head because remember, trolls are not real, they're made up, so you're just going to have to use your imagination here and just create your own idea of what's in a troll's cave, and you can be as wild as you want. Now remember, we're trying to show that trolls are not bad creatures, although they look hideous. So I put stone bath, fresh flowers. There would be a hole in the floor filled with stagnant water. Just think about what we've got in our house. You know, we have somewhere where we sleep, we have somewhere where we wash, we have somewhere where we cook, we have somewhere we sit and chill out. So you could model the troll's cave on that, but obviously a troll probably wouldn't sleep in a bed. So have a think about what they would sleep on. You know, a troll might necessarily have a bath like us, so that's why I've said it was a stone bath, because it's in a cave. A kitchen, for example, they wouldn't have a cooker. So think about what they might cook on. Think about the fact that, you know, previously we've said that trolls live in caves near volcanoes. So what might they use to cook on? It's really up to you, though. There's no wrong or right answer. You're using your imagination and making this up. And then paragraph 3, I decided to do what is trial school like, and then then you would write notes underneath this paragraph with some ideas about what you think trial school's like. Now, I would model it on what a human school looks like, as in we have lessons, what do we sit on, where do we eat, what are the teachers like. But it's not going to be like a human school, but you'll take those aspects and change them into what a trial school would look like. You do not have to have what is a trial school like, what is in a trials cave. You can choose other examples from this, or you might have your own ideas for things you want to write about in paragraphs. And then the Did You Know section, you just choose 3 really interesting facts and write them down. So I chose trials can live to be 200 years old, trials can read people's minds, trials are herbivores. Again, none of this is true. I've just made it up. So basically what you're doing is using your imagination today. Now, you can talk to your parents about it. You might want to Google stuff and see what comes up regarding trolls. You might want to speak to your brothers and sisters. There might be a troll book that you've read before. Trolls don't have to live in caves. You can choose a completely different place for them to live. It's up to you. So it's all about using your imagination. What I suggest you do is write this down on paper first before you put it onto Purple Mash. So open Purple Mash and see the structure of the lesson, but write it on paper first, because in the coming lessons you're going to have to write your information text, and the work you send me on Purple Mash you won't be able to see again, so you won't be able to use your notes. And obviously when we're in class we have our plan in front of us, don't we? And we'll use that to write our information text. So if you could write this on paper first and then put it on Purple Mash, then you can keep the paper for your paper plan to use to write. Now, just to clarify exactly what you've got to do, you need to come up with a title and you need to choose what your first paragraph is going to be about and give it a subheading, and just write some key points or some key notes or bullet points about what could go in that paragraph. What your second paragraph is going to be about, and again, bullet point or list what things you might want to put in there. What your third paragraph is going to be about, and drop down some bullet points or notes. And then 3 things that you would want to put in the Did You Know section. Okay, it's really important that you do this before Wednesday, because Wednesday we're going to start writing up. If you've got any questions, message us on the blog.